It is exactly 7 in the morning on a Tuesday. You are standing in your kitchen, pouring dark roast coffee into a travel mug. You are half dressed for the office, your tie draped over the back of a chair. Then the doorbell rings. It is a sharp, sudden sound that cuts through the quiet apartment. You look through the peephole. You see two men in cheap, dark suits standing in the hallway. They are not building management. They hold up brass badges to the glass of the door. They are investigators from the Securities and Exchange Commission, the federal agency that polices Wall Street. Your stomach completely drops. The coffee mug slips from your hand and shatters on the hardwood floor. You always knew, deep down, that this specific day might come. You just never realized how terrifyingly ordinary it would feel when it finally arrived. The story actually begins 8 months ago at a crowded family dinner. You are a mid-level portfolio manager at a respectable hedge fund. You make good money, but you are not truly rich. Your uncle sits across from you, 3 glasses of wine deep. He sits on the board of directors for a regional pharmaceutical company. Between bites of steak, he complains about endless late-night meetings with aggressive lawyers from a massive rival firm. He does not say the word merger out loud. He does not have to. You know exactly how the corporate game works. If a bigger company buys his company, the stock price will explode overnight. You go home that night and open your personal laptop. The harsh glow of the screen lights up your dark living room. You tell yourself it is just an educated guess. It is not real inside information, just a smart guy connecting the dots. You open a secondary brokerage account, one your firm's compliance department has no way to track. You transfer $45,000 from your savings account. You click submit. The money leaves your bank. There is absolutely no going back now.
2 weeks later, the funds finally clear in the secret account. You log in from a crowded coffee shop across the street from your office, making sure you are totally disconnected from the company Wi-Fi network. You buy out-of-the-money call options on your uncle's pharmaceutical company. A call option is just a highly leveraged bet that a stock will go up by a specific date. If you are right, it pays out massively. If you are wrong, you lose every single penny. You buy $45,000 worth of them, set to expire in exactly 3 weeks. The waiting becomes a heavy physical weight in your chest. Every morning, you check the pre-market financial news before you even get out of bed. You go to your real job. You sit in weekly investment committee meetings, nodding at your boss and taking notes, while your heart beats perfectly in time with the ticking clock of your secret trade. You feel like a genius hiding in plain sight. You are finally taking the kind of ruthless risk that the billionaires in the corner offices take every single day. They just never get caught. You convince yourself that this is how real generational wealth is actually built. You just needed the courage to finally cross the invisible line.
On a Thursday afternoon, the news officially breaks. You are sitting at your desk when the bright red headline flashes across your Bloomberg terminal. The massive rival firm is buying your uncle's company for a massive cash premium. The stock halts trading immediately, then opens a staggering 62% higher. You pull out your personal phone under the desk, shielding the screen with your hand. You log into your secret brokerage account. Your $45,000 is now worth $310,000. Your hands physically shake. You immediately hit the sell button. You lock in the profit. You close the app and walk straight to the office bathroom, splashing freezing cold water on your face. You just made more cash in 3 seconds than you make in a year. For the next month, you feel totally invincible. You pay off your student loans. You buy a $12,000 steel sports watch. You tell your girlfriend you got a surprise discretionary bonus. The lie comes out so smoothly, it actually terrifies you. You think you got away with it entirely. You think the system is too big to notice one mid-level guy making one lucky trade. 6 months pass without a single issue. The money sits quietly in your private bank account, earning interest. The heavy steel watch sits securely on your wrist. You start looking at real estate. Then, the warning signs finally arrive. A firm-wide email goes out from the Chief Compliance Officer. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, the independent watchdog that monitors all market trading, is running a massive sweep on all trades related to that specific pharmaceutical merger. They are actively looking for anomalies. You stare at the email and tell yourself you are perfectly fine. You used a separate email address. You used a personal device. But you start compulsively Googling the federal penalties for insider trading late at night. You learn about the advanced surveillance algorithms regulators use to flag perfectly timed, highly leveraged options trades. You realize you bought aggressive, out-of-the-money calls just days before the public announcement. It is the most glaring, obvious red flag in the history of modern finance. You stop sleeping entirely. Every time your boss asks you to step into his glass office, your throat goes completely dry. The arrogant hubris evaporates. You are no longer a Wall Street genius. You are just a guy standing on a landmine, desperately waiting for the click.
And then the doorbell rings. It is Tuesday morning, and the coffee mug shatters on your floor. The two SEC agents step into your kitchen. They do not yell. They do not use handcuffs. They just reach into a briefcase and hand you a thick piece of paper. It is a federal subpoena. One agent looks down at your wrist. He compliments your expensive new watch. Then he reads a printed list of dates, times, and specific IP addresses. They know exactly when you logged in from the coffee shop across from your office. They know all about the dinner with your uncle. They already have his cell phone records. The agent hands you a plain white business card and tells you to hire outside counsel immediately. They walk out, leaving your apartment door wide open behind them. You stand frozen, staring at the paper in your trembling hands. The bold number on the bottom of the page is your exact illegal profit, $265,000. In less than 3 minutes, your entire career, your professional reputation, and your freedom are completely and permanently erased. By Friday afternoon, all of your personal bank accounts are frozen by federal order. Your firm fires you for cause, meaning you get zero severance pay and lose all your unvested company stock. You are forced to hire a white-collar defense attorney who charges $1,200 an hour. You sit in a sterile, glass-walled conference room with a sweeping view of the city. Your lawyer lays out the brutal reality. The federal government has absolutely everything. If you choose to fight it in court, you face up to 5 years in federal prison. If you cooperate, you might avoid jail time, but there is a massive catch. To get the plea deal, you have to wear a wire. You have to sit down with your uncle, record a private conversation, and get him to admit he gave you the tip. You are sitting at that glass table, finally realizing the actual cost of the money. You are trading your own family to save yourself. You make the call. You record the conversation. Your uncle is indicted 3 weeks later. He refuses to ever speak to you again. Your own mother stops answering your calls. The government fines you $300,000, entirely wiping out your life savings and every penny of the illegal profit. 2 painful years later, the dust has finally settled. You avoided a federal prison sentence, but you are permanently barred from the securities industry. You can never manage money, trade stocks, or work in finance ever again. You now work as a logistics manager for a regional trucking company, making exactly $70,000 a year. You wear plain, off-the-rack shirts. The expensive steel watch is long gone, sold to a pawn shop to help pay your legal fees. You sit alone in your modest apartment, looking out the window at the glowing financial district skyline in the distance. The towering glass buildings look exactly the same as they did when you belonged in them. The stock market opens every single morning at exactly 9:30. The money keeps moving like a river. People keep making millions of dollars. But you are locked out forever. You traded your entire identity and your family
for one fleeting moment of feeling like you were truly on the inside. And now, as you watch the city lights blink on, you have never been further out.